Now from the great state of Illinois, EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to the second city of Chicago. Today we hit double digits, week 10, and we've got a good one in store, as it'll be our visitors taking on our home team. Here's the kicker, Harrison Beavis, out to get us started. And off we go on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Already here, they'll audible to something else. On the ground, it's the rookie from Tennessee. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. It's second down. So, Charles, this defense, they definitely know that they've got their hands full here going up against a group that has won 7 straight. What's the key for them in this ball game?
Well, we asked their defensive coordinator that very question, and the response was, we have the mindset that they actually have to react to us, not the other way around. So it sounds to me like the plan is to do the attacking and not wait to see what they present to them.
They'll keep it on the ground. Sampson. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Chicago. A big play there with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And his guys get the quick strike touchdown. Hopkins with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. And whistle blown, a timeout here is taken, and it's taken by the kicking team. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And that's going to skip into the end zone for a touchback. Looking to put a drive together. They'll start on the ground. Hall. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. Charles, they won last week despite...
Menu narration set to 100. Menu narration set to 100. Entering settings. Menu narration set to 100. Menu narration set to 100.
just need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Here's Hall again. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 15 yards on the play, first down.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Play action. It's Fields. This is Smith with a grab. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. To throw is Fields. Caught by Wilson. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. Okay, so the personal foul penalty, and those are some important yards lost right there.
Yeah, it all comes down to discipline, doesn't it? And every team tells us that they coach it, they preach it. In this case, it slipped a little bit.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Here's Fields. This one finds Wilson downfield. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. A play fake, now Fields to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
What will look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Now it's Fields. That'll be complete to Okonkwo. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Here's Fields. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
Now a 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Fields buying time to his left. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on 3rd down.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll give to Hall. And the tackle made at the 13. He is well short of the first. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
After watching that play result, it took me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and we asked him, so how you plan to move the ball against this defense?
He didn't really tip his hand, did he?
No, he didn't. I think it's because he really didn't have an answer. He wasn't quite sure how he was going to get it done, and that play showed us exactly why he was worried.
Yeah, this number 1 defense, they can put that on their highlight reel. They have been able to stop the run all season long. And it's intercepted at the goal line. So the ball changing hands on the interception, but meanwhile here we do have an injury on the play. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. 75 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
And that run there does nothing but juice up the guys who are moving the football. I mean, if you're an offensive lineman, people running it, actually the guy calling plays, you're almost jumping up and down in jubilation, aren't you?
And now you've got options on 2nd down.
And big-time options. You might want to think about play action and try and get something cheap right here over the top.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. Willis with a quick throw out wide. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. But forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play.
So often on these RPOs, we see the ball get from the quarterback to the receiver in what feels like a nanosecond. But on this play, he actually cleared coverage downfield a bit before the ball got to him. The net result, though, a considerable gain.
On 1st down, Sampson. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Ready for the 2nd quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 13 forthcoming. They'll keep it on the ground. Sampson on a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. 16 yards is the pickup there and a 1st down for Chicago. They'll run on 1st down. Sampson. No dice this go around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. He lost 6 there on the 1st down play.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the 1st half.
Now a handoff up the middle. Sampson. Past the 20. Touchdown, Chicago. A great play there with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. Extra point good by Hopkins. And it's now 14-0. And that's pretty good coverage by the kick team, as he'll only be able to get this past the 15-yard line and no further. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words.
How about this? Breece Hall. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Breece Hall, his 9th touchdown of the season. And his guys get the quick strike touchdown. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make our score 14-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Just the one misstep for them in the first half of the season. 7-1 is the record at the midway point. And in terms of whatever power rankings you want to go by, they're at or near the top of the list in terms of best teams in the National Football League.
And for me, in my little bit of rankings here, I've got them at the top. I know there's still 2 months to go, and we've seen teams get off to hot starts and then fade away due to injuries or the schedule or whatever. But unless there are a rash of injuries on this team, I'd be surprised if they aren't a first or a second seed come playoff time.
To throw, here's Willis. Rolling to his right. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
I think the defense surprised him there with that blitz on first down, but give him credit. Stayed cool under pressure and still found a way through the extra rushers for positive yardage. Well done.
Up the middle they go. Sampson. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 147 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. On the ground, this is Quinshawn Judkins. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Jamin Davis there to bring him down. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big game downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
It was a quick throw completed by Willis. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper.
I think that run gives us evidence that the defense is getting a little bit tired out there. They've been out in the field for a long time, and that last run, they just cut right through them.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Now they'll empty out the backfield. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And this ball recovered by the offense. But remember, they cannot advance it here in the final 2 minutes of the half. So this will be blown dead, and it'll come back to the spot of the fumble. So crisis averted, but now facing 3rd and goal. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A touchdown run there from a yard out. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. Hopkins with the extra point. And it's now 21-7. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they'll opt not to return this, but since the ball did hit in the landing zone, this will come out to the 20. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
Partner, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10. Fields steps away toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Fields. Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half. Well, Charles, it's so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
So this a two-possession ball game as we get back underway, set for the third quarter. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. All in all, pretty manageable deficit, Charles, here as they start this third quarter offensively when you consider the fact that in the first two quarters, they had two costly turnovers.
I think you laid it out there perfectly, partner. Very tough to hold a lead going into the break if you continue to hand it over on multiple drives.
Yeah, and obviously, Charles, it would be very tough to climb back into the game if those turnovers continue.
I would say borderline impossible. You keep turning it over, I don't know how you make up a deficit.
Here's a 2nd and 5. Out of the gun, they run it with Hall. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 130 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. One play action. Fields. Airing it out deep for Smith. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Fields now to throw. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
On 4th down, Fields. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A gain of 26 and a conversion there as well on 4th down. So after the big play on 4th, here's 1st and 10. Throwing again is Fields. But he's got Smith here. Touchdown, Chicago! A great effort there. 35 yards. And his guys are able to make this a close game again. Extra point right down the middle. And they're back with it, a touchdown at 21-14. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a one-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a one-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change, because otherwise that could overrun your team. You got to be careful right here.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Sampson. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Quinnen Williams, so hard to block, and he shows it that time, making the tackle for loss. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Here's Willis. That's to his running back, Quinshon Judkins. That'll go for a gain of 7. And that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4.
The defense was ready for the back to leak out and even had a second player waiting to double him up. If you're going to commit to doubling a back, you better prevent a completion, but give him credit. Extra determination, extra effort, turned it into a successful play.
Now inside the 25. And he will step out of bounds all the way down at the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And certainly a quarterback who has the arm, he also has the legs, Charles.
And haven't we seen over time these quarterbacks just get more and more athletic as they go along? We're not just talking about guys who can throw the football and stay in the pocket, but when they run, they hurt a defense.
And he hurt the defense right there. On 1st down, here's Judkins. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Quinshon Judkins taking it in from 4 yards out as his guys are able to extend their lead. Extra point good by Hopkins. And the lead now up to 14. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They did what they had to do to start this 3rd quarter, went down, got the touchdown to cut the lead, but the matching touchdown a moment ago, and we're right back where we started at halftime.
Yeah, you're exactly right, partner. They had a little bounce in their step after scoring that first touchdown, but the defense gave one up, and that's the problem right now. Can they get better play from their defense while they continue to score on offense?
Operating from the gun, Fields. He finds Wilson. And he's brought down. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. Another 1st down as he went right back to the same well, this time for 17 yards. Back to throw. Fields. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Yeah, their back's up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. A shotgun snap, Fields. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
That's a big force incompletion there to bring up 3rd and long, and this defense can still salvage a little momentum by forcing them to kick a field goal, because just a few plays ago, they looked like they were headed towards the end zone.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll run with Hall. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. They've been in the red zone 3 times in this game and have not scored a single point. Can they break through here on 2nd and goal? Operating from the gun, Fields. This is caught. That was the 8th play of the drive, so a somewhat fitting pickup of 8 yards. So a little extra time to ponder this 3rd and goal as we played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports, as it looks like we are just about set and ready to begin with the 4th. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. They'll look to run with Hall, and I don't think he got there. No, they stop him right where it all started. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal. They snap it to Fields. And a quick throw here that's complete. Touchdown! Andrew Beck, his first touchdown on the year. And his guys have made this a 1-score game now. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a 1-score game here in the 4th.
And that's what these guys have done all game long, because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense, because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Judkins to start the drive. And he's able to break out a 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there.
And this is the worry, because sometimes you can get a little too predictable in spots like this. You know you're going to run the ball, but they know you're going to run the ball as well. And now you look up and you're staring at an important 3rd down.
Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. Caught left side by Mechie. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Willis will look to throw it. Sliding out of the pocket. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And a nice job to break free of 1 tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. All that for a 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Now a handoff up the middle. Sampson. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Willis looking to throw it. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Jamin Davis. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
They come up now on 2nd and 2. Looking to throw. Fields steps away to his left. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. They face a critical third down now, needing a score here in the late going. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Chigakonkwo, 26 yards. And that interception key as it leads to the touchdown. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the fourth. Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the fourth as the kick's away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Willis. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Quentin Williams in there to get him sack number 14 for him on the year. Willis to throw. And this one is incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
Throwing, Willis. And he comes back with one complete. What do you think? Play this safe? Just worry about getting OT?
Yeah, don't make any risky throws. It's going to change the outcome. But if anyone slips, take the big shot.
Here it is. 4th and inches. They'll try it now with Judkins. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Now a timeout called for by the offense as the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play.
2 timeouts still available in this final minute. It's 1st and 10 now. Now Willis.
Flush to his right.
And this is a rarity in the NFL, a 100-yard game on the ground for a quarterback. Even as those passers get more athletic and mobile, we only see about 5 of these a season. It takes a special set of circumstances for it to happen, and of course, a special player.
Here's Willis.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And he'll get this down only to about the 46.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
Willis back to throw here. Setting up a screen for Judkins.
And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
And this won't get there. Won't be online either. It's no good. Off to the right.
And here in overtime, a quick reminder, the game no longer ends following an offensive touchdown on the opening drive. Both sides will have the chance to possess the ball unless there's a defensive touchdown. In that case, the game will end right there. Four quarters couldn't decide things, so it's on to overtime here as the kick is away. This going to be returned from the 2. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive.
And you think back to halftime, they had the big lead. They were in control of this game. They ultimately lost the lead. But right now, with the ball in overtime, a chance to get out in front and force your opponent to play from behind with a good drive here.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Willis with a first throw in overtime.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Now Willis.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Willis showing off the wheels there. He gets him the first down.
Well, he and his offense were staring down what was likely a 3-and-out. Zero fear from his side, though. Never doubted for a second they pick up the first. He's ready to pull the trigger on a keeper the moment it revealed itself.
On first down, Sampson.
And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. 174 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. They'll keep it on the ground. Sampson. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I keep going back to him.
Now a give, right side. Sampson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He's had some big runs in this game. Not there, though.
But I don't think they're going to be deterred by that play right there. He's had some nice runs in the game. And how many times have we seen a good running back get stopped, yet turn it into something big on a later carry? I'd stay with him.
Now Willis to throw. Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Well, I know you're toward the middle of the field here, but still, 4th down, this distance, you got to punt it right.
That's definitely the first instinct, because you say, okay, let's just play some field position, make sure we don't lose the game here, turn it over in a key spot. But if you feel really good about your trigger guy, if you feel great about him, you might want to leave the ball in his hands and let him work his magic.
Fourth down, Willis.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. And a 4th down pass play doesn't work out. And as a result, possession switches hands.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, their defense did the job, got off the field without giving up any points, and now, Charles, all they need here is a field goal, and they get the victory.
Yeah, and this is the way I love overtime. I'm one of those really, really old school guys that like sudden death right from the beginning. Well, we've got it now because any points wins the game. On defense, get a safety, a pick 6, fumble return, you can win it as well. So I'm really looking forward to this series and see how both sides play it.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Now a timeout called for by the defense. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime.
At this point now, a field goal would win it. They are in range. We'll see how they approach things on 1st down. Here's Fields.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT.
So it's a win for the home side.